an episode this week.
Guys, if you're listening to this, it means that we fixed our technical difficulties and there's an episode being posted this week. Yay!
So everybody say hallelujah, God bless. Skylar almost fucked herself last week. Not really.
Yeah, there's some like stuff happening in both of our lives at the moment, so bear with us. We will be back to our regularly scheduled programming very soon, but you know life. It be crazy. So
life be crazy.
Bear with us.
Speaking of crazy lives.
But
I was going to choose the topic, but we haven't even introduced ourselves yet, so.
I know. Anyway.
Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I'm calling 911. Okay.
Skylar just hung up on our FaceTime call.
If you're wondering what happened, my phone started calling 911.
Why did your phone call 911?
Cause the way this, like, phone holder's on it, I guess it was on the off button, and, started calling.
That is actually so funny.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Then no big deal. Hey guys, welcome. This is so difficult.
This is so chaotic.
The fact that I don't even know what's happening with the planets right now is depressing, because then I can't make it about astrology.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I'm Skylar.
I'm Emily.
And this week, we're talking about The Kissing Booth 3.
Yes.
We knew we were going to do an episode about this the second it was posted, that it was going to be
the funny
thing.
The funny thing is that we watched the first one on our own, you know, when that came out, and then we watched the second one last year, but we skipped through it. Like, we both could not finish that movie all the way through because it was bad. And
no, I would do like 10 seconds ahead.
Yeah,
10 seconds ahead.
Exactly. And we were thinking about it, and Skylar was like, didn't we do an episode on Kissing Booth 2? And I was like, no. We watched that on our own. We chose to do that. And now we are back. Well, we're not back, but we are here reviewing talking about the last Kissing Booth.
It's happening.
It's happening. So
we missed the first two waves, but baby, we're riding the last one.
We are here for the finale.
Literally.
This movie, but for real guys, this movie was 1 hour and 50 minutes, and I feel like it didn't have to be that long.
Why has every movie we watched had to be 2 hours? I can't do it.
I had to split it between, like, 2 days. Even my friends and I were, like, hate watching it.
Do.
My friends and I were hate watching it, and it was so boring, we had to stop. And then I had to finish it yesterday. It's so
surprisingly,
bad.
me and my sister watched it all in one sitting. It was so bad, but, like, not gonna lie, I was entertained.
I mean, I think what sucks so much is that, like, seeing Jacob Elordi in this role is just so awful.
Yeah, I mean, also, I just feel bad for, like, him, but also Joey King, because I think everybody forgets that Joey King was also, like, nominated for, like, an Emmy or something for the act. Like, she's, like, a recognized actress.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad for both of them, but, like, it's sadder to watch him because he just, like, delivers all his lines at, like, 50% and, like, at 3% volume, like, so quietly. Like, I could never hear him in this movie.
And I swear to God, he only responded in one-syllable responses.
Or just said things that didn't make any sense. Like, we're jumping ahead in this movie already, but there's a point in the movie where they're at a race car track.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to be part of, like, the little fun little quirky little thing they were doing.
Yeah.
But then Marco, the kid from the last movie that kissed Elle, like, shows up and does it with them. And he goes, "Get me a helmet," to Chloe, his friend, who was in the stands with him. I was like,
yeah,
I get it, but that doesn't make any sense. What is she gonna do?
She doesn't know where the helmets are. She doesn't
work here.
She does not work here.
Don't look at him. He's not gonna help you. Sorry, when you said she's not gonna help you, that's the first thing that came into my head.
Yeah, and then there was also just everything. But the thing about Joey King, which I wrote in my notes too, was she, like, this role sucks for her, and she's doing her best, and this movie's awful, but man, can she cry. You tell Joey King she has to cry for a scene, which she does in so many parts of this movie. She can do it. She can cry her ass off, and I respect that.
No, she gives it her all 110%, which is so funny just to see, like, these two recognized actors, and then one of them is like, hell yeah, this movie's fun, like, I'm just gonna have fun, like, give it my all, and then he's like, I should not be here.
Yeah.
This is unfair.
It's insane. It's just so funny, but...
Which everybody came for us when we talked about that bad KJ Apa movie and said, why does he keep taking these roles? We understand that actors don't always get to choose what movies they're in.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter. They still sometimes don't do the best job.
Yeah. Also, like, it was a friggin' joke. Also, we were joking.
So, this movie was also, Emily and I, never serious.
Also, like, we understand, like, this is... They got contracted to do 3 movies. Like, as an actor, that's something you understand when you sign on to something. But, I mean, it is tough out here. Like, because we just watched Twilight, so I've been thinking about, like, contract obligated actors for, like... But those were, like... That was a lot of acclaim that they got, and these don't really compare on, like, the same level.
Oh, no. Yeah, like, at least it propelled, like, Robert and Kristen's acting careers. Yeah. Like, they became, like, household names after it. Like, this movie's just, like, it's niche in the way that, like, everybody our age knows it, but, like, it's not, like, people's parents are like, oh, yeah, like, Joey King from Kissing Booth, that movie my kid likes. Right. Like, it's not like that.
Right.
But to that note, my sister, I watched this with her, the same one that I watched The Last Letter from Your Lover with. Yeah. She was like, oh my god, why does Jacob Elordi remind me so much of Edward Cullen in this movie? Like, why is he acting like Edward Cullen? Because they acted these characters in the same way. Like, the same way that Edward was like, I'm just gonna make this guy, like, so weird, like, he's so uncomfortable, he's so depressed. Yeah. Jacob Elordi did the same thing. Like, he's this brooding, like, upset, like, angry, like, stick in the mud.
Yeah. No, that's really true.
And I think it's because both of them see their characters in the same way. Because I remember Rob being like, oh, I'm nothing like Edward. Like, he's a weirdo, he's a creep. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Jacob said the same thing about Noah. He was like, no, this guy's the worst. Like, I hate my character. Yeah. Like, he stings.
I mean, I don't think, like... I think Jacob is doing what he can do, and I think everyone is doing what they can do, except for...
Oh, completely.
I do have something to say about about Lee. Because I think they're doing him dirty in the makeup.
Oh my god, yeah.
In the makeup department, I think they're doing him so dirty because every time he cried, it was like you could that man flushes like a normal human reaction to crying, and you can tell that he's wearing makeup every time he cries because you can see it's like patchy and so awful, and like no one learned how to do that.
I don't know what it is, but men, when they wear foundation, for some reason makeup artists forget how to put on foundation when a man sits down in the chair. Because, like, there's just, like, this tendency for men to always look cakey and weird in makeup. It's not because I'm not used to seeing men in makeup. It's just because the foundation is done poorly.
Yeah.
They did a bad job. I agree. No, I noticed. I thought the same thing. I was like, it doesn't look right.
It could have something to do with, like, maybe his skin routine isn't that great, so he doesn't have a great base to work with. I don't know what is going on with him personally, but I just thought it was so
That's up to him.
Like, that's his problem. But I just thought it was so unfortunate that, like, every time this actor had to, like, cry in a scene, he, like, looked so ridiculous.
Okay, but he's always crying in this movie, too.
Yes!
He was a toddler this entire movie. Lee was the worst character this whole movie. And I say that with my whole chest.
He was awful.
Because, okay, let's talk about the premise of this movie really quickly.
Yeah. This ridiculous premise. Absolutely so ridiculous.
It's just the same 2 plots from the first 2 movies redone. Like, stretched out even more. Not even done in a good way.
No.
They revisit all the same themes. But, okay, anyways. One point I would like to make before we start also is, I like to point this out to anybody I talk to the kissing booth about, because it's important. And I mentioned this the last time we mentioned the kissing booth.
Okay.
This was on Wattpad. I would like to remind the group. This was a Wattpad story written by a teenage girl when Wattpad was supposed to be for books, like for fiction books that like young kids were writing, and they were going to publish the most popular books. Like, that's what Wattpad was for.
Yeah.
It wasn't for fan fiction that we've all come to know it for. And so this book was so popular that it won one of the contests, and it was so popular as a book that they made it into a movie also.
Yeah.
So the premise of the third movie, Marco from the last movie is still here, and so is Chloe, and there's still
causing problems.
They're still causing problems, specifically Marco, because she's his moonshot, he's still going after Elle, and then Joey King's, me forgetting her name, Elle decides to go to Harvard after lying to both Noah and Flynn. Noah and Flynn. I feel like they should have named Noah Flynn.
But
not Flynn. But
that's, yeah, but Flynn's his last name.
Like, he just, anyways. Okay. Noah and Lee, about getting waitlisted from both schools. So she tells them that she's going to Harvard with her boyfriend instead of her best friend, who's her boyfriend's younger brother, right?
Yes.
So then the whole movie is everybody is jealous of somebody else.
Right.
So Elle is jealous of the kid who Lee is going to Berkeley with.
Yeah.
Lee is still jealous of Noah and Elle for being close.
Uh-huh.
And then Noah is still jealous of Marco for being in love with Elle. And that's the whole movie. And
it all takes place in Noah and Lee's parents' beach house that they don't want them to sell. And meanwhile, Elle is doing everything on her and Lee's summer bucket list they made when they were 6 years old to make up to lighten the blow that she is not going to Berkeley with him. She's going to Harvard, where Noah also goes.
Why are the Flynn boys not capable of having a healthy relationship?
With anybody.
And specifically with Elle, because Noah is so toxic and constantly yelling at her and making her feel bad for their problems. Yeah. As if he never plays a part in it. And then me almost calling the other one Flynn this time, and then Lee is constantly expecting her to spend all her time with him, and the whole movie's like she's spreading herself too thin, she has too many people, and also the Virgo energy I get from Elle in this movie.
Yeah, I know she's probably a Virgo.
You cannot tell me that her and Lee, she's a Virgo and Lee's a Capricorn. That's why he's constantly crying about things and making lists and being like, you're not sticking to the list. He's a Capricorn.
What do we think Noah is? Cancer.
Aries.
Oh, 2 very different answers.
Whoa. Very different. No, both like the children of like their houses.
Yeah.
I think Aries because he is so stubborn and like hard-headed.
Okay.
And they play this whole anger issues thing.
Okay,
but
true.
he also is like, this is such a minimal part of his character.
Yeah.
But he's going to Harvard. He's like wants to be a lawyer, so he's very goal-oriented and like headstrong, like makes his own path, like Aries energy.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Cancer just because this stuck up on loyalty, like so much, like you're on my side, you're on his side. True. So irrationally emotional, like at any point in any of these movies.
Yeah, Emily's saying this as a Cancer, by the way.
Just saying, yeah. Maybe he's an Aries with a Cancer moon. Wouldn't that be just such a delicious combination?
I feel like a delicious combination. I also feel like a middle ground between those two is Scorpio, because also you have his intensity and the jealousy, possessiveness with the career-oriented, like, goals.
Right. Yeah, let's go Scorpio.
Okay, Scorpio.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we got a Capricorn, a Virgo, and a Scorpio, the scariest trio alive. Oh
no,
my
and
God.
the whole thing too really is like she just everything. Okay, let me say something.
Yeah.
We all know that these movies are unrealistic, but they really played up that aspect in this particular movie because Elle is she's got accepted into UC Berkeley and into Harvard, and you have to make a decision by like April or May, and it is
May 1st is decision day every year,
and it is her school has ended. It is the summer. Let's just assume it's June or the end of May, and she hasn't made a decision. And you're gonna tell me that she's getting personal calls from these universities asking her to make a decision? None of them care. If you don't respond to them, they're just gonna withdraw your spot. Like, you can't. Yeah,
they're like, okay, waitlist gets it now.
Like, what the fuck?
They're not gonna be like, this one girl, we want her so bad. Like, unless she was literally like created a cure for cancer in high school, like they're literally like, okay, this kid who literally like engineered like a car that runs on water, he's coming to our school instead. Like, they're not gonna be like, okay, video game design girl, you can come to our school.
Not even that. She didn't even know she wanted to do that until the end. She's just some white girl from California that went to private school. Like, she's like...
Who's rich?
Yeah. Like, I thought that was so absurd. Like, how are you going to put that into the movie? Like, that's not real. Like, that doesn't happen.
No, it's not. I hate when college portrayals are so unrealistic in movies, because I'm like, did no one in the process of writing this movie go to college or know a single person who went to college? Because you watch one person go through the college admission process and it's understood. Like, it's the worst. There's deadlines all the time. It costs so much money and it's stressful, and you just have to like go with it. Like, you just have to make up answers for yourself. Like, there's no being like, I don't know, like, whatever. And also, the conflict is so stupid because it's like, its message is so bad. Like, at the end, they try to turn around and be like, she's gonna choose for herself. But, like, having her go through this the whole time anyways is so stupid. Like, my sister was like, wait, she's trying to choose between going to school between her boyfriend and her best friend. Why doesn't she just choose whichever school is best for her own personal goals?
Exactly. That's, like, she should have known. That was what was so insane to me, is that it took her having a 2-minute conversation with Molly Ringwald at the end of this movie for her to understand that when you choose when you make a massive decision like choosing where to go to college, it should be about you and not about, are you gonna make your friend happy or are you gonna make your boyfriend happy?
Right.
What the fuck? I was watching that part and I was like, did a school counselor like never talk to you about this? Like, this does like...
Or her dad?
Yeah, like some adult should have stepped in. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I guess, like, at the end of the day, like, if it was done, like, nicely, like, this would have been a good message for, like, younger people being like, make decisions for yourself. Like, it's your life. You can't live for other people. But, like, this movie is just way too ridiculous. It literally felt like I was reading a fanfiction.
I know.
Like, literally, like, it was so stupid. Everyone was getting mad at each other all the time. And I was just like, everyone's a big baby, needs to grow up. That's how I know that we aren't the audience for this movie anymore, because I literally the whole time was just seeing, like, why is everybody 5 years old and, like, can't handle not being prioritized by one person?
I know. And just the fact that, like, no matter what she did, like, these events with Lee and anything that was happening with Noah over the summer had to happen completely separate of each other, and in no way was it like they were ever all spending time together, like the three of them. And then just like, why couldn't Noah and Lee be like, we'll all hang out? Like, they were living at a beach house together the entire summer. How was it so separate? Like, how was hanging out with them so separate? It could have been so easy for them all to do this together. Like, I didn't get that. Like, I get it for, like, conflict, but, like, the thing that sucked was that her and Noah would have a fight for 2 minutes, and then it would get resolved, and then something would happen with Lee, and then it would get resolved, and then another fight with Noah would start. And so it's like, it was so annoying to have, like, it just going, like, up and down for 2 hours.
No, completely. I agree completely, because literally, like, it felt like we didn't even get into the main conflict of the movie into the middle. Like, not even the middle, like, the last, like, 40 minutes. Like, yeah, literally, that's when we got, like, started, like, real resolutions. Like, there's a new problem every other 5 seconds. Like, the movie kept changing plot, too, because first it was the beach house and, like, them trying to save their childhood in this beach house. And, like, it's totally fine to have multiple subplots in this movie, but don't introduce them all like they're gonna be the main plot of the movie. Because it makes us lose focus of things, because by the end I'm like, I don't even care about this beach house anymore. Like, we don't even know about this beach house until this movie.
I know.
It doesn't mean nearly as much to me as it does to them.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
It was just stupid.
I was like, this is the first time I'm being introduced to this beach house, and it's getting...
I've never been here.
I have never seen this with my eyes before. Seen my eyes with this. And then,
I've never seen my eyes
and before. And then also, this needs to be talked about. This is an ugly beach house. Why is it that color?
Oh, yeah. What? They're rich, and even their beach house isn't cute.
Yeah, I was like, maybe you should get rid of this. Like, this isn't cute. Why is it that weird, like, key lime green teal color? What the fuck?
Also, though, the fact that this was, like, Lee's plot, and it wasn't even, like, that explored, because he was the one who was mainly like, we can't let them sell the beach house. Like, he was the one who kept, like, ripping out, like, the for sale sign and, like, didn't want him to paint over the, like, the lines on the door or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
their heights.
How tall they were, yeah, their heights. And, like, yeah, like, he was a baby the whole movie. Like, I get it. He doesn't want to grow up. Whatever. He wants to be with his best friend forever. Like, he doesn't want to be an adult. He doesn't like change.
Yeah.
Can we have acted that out through him protecting the beach house and not him screaming and crying and running away from conflict every 5 seconds? Because I was tired. I was like, I feel like I'm babysitting watching this adult man scream and cry at a girl.
Yeah, and then he also had, like, Rachel. Like, imagine how Rachel felt. Because she's there as well. And he is so obsessed with Elle messing up everything and constantly not being there for him. And then she's just there. And then he, like, gets them tickets for some concert thing, and she's like, this is, you actually got this for, like, our college orientation weekend. And he was like, yeah, but we'll just skip that so we can be together. And she was like, oh, okay. Are you joking? That pissed me off because it's someone like riding over my own schedule I would have for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not okay with that. But, like, you can't, like, that doesn't work. He was so frustrating in this movie.
Yeah, and, like, I think the main problem, also to your original point, which is that they never all hang out, we do get montages of them all hanging out, but when the real plot comes in, we don't see them hanging out all together ever. And then that raises the question, why are Noah and Elle dating? Because they don't have any of the same interests. Because him and his brother don't get along because they're so dissimilar and, like, whatever. And they barely meet in the middle, and they meet in the middle over Elle. Why is Elle the bridge? Because she's so much like Lee, and we don't get any, like, deep conversations between her and Noah that would, like, make sense for why they like each other.
Completely.
Unless they were already fighting.
Completely.
And making up. And then, again, Lee and Rachel, like, they're, like, 1% of this movie. And Rachel, like, has, like, 3 lines. And, like, 2 of them are talking about Elle to Lee.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
So, like, the whole time I'm like, yeah, Elle, break up with Noah and go date Margot. Because clearly he's more your speed.
Genuinely. They have nothing in common anymore. And it's also that Noah is a year older than her, which I, like, forgot. And I, like, remembered that he, like, was in college for, like, the second movie. But, like, there's so much disconnect. Like, a year isn't that much, except for, I feel like, when it's a year older, when you're, like, going to college and figuring that out senior year of high school versus a freshman / like, sophomore in college. Like, those are completely different mindsets to be in, and there's, like, you're not on the same page, and you're in, like, it's only a year difference, but those are different stages of life, no matter what. So how are you gonna, like, work that out? Like, I don't think it, like, they broke up and I was not sad and I expected it.
you're like, yeah, correct. Like, you should be breaking up.
Yeah. Like, this has been broken since the second movie.
Not even. The first movie was still messed up.
Okay, the first movie, though, had some moments. The first movie had some moments.
Yeah, no, because that's what I'm saying. The first movie was kind of cute. Like, you're like, okay, yeah, they're together, cool. And the second movie, like, they're literally on two different paths and, like, getting mad at each other for literally everything, and they both think the other one's cheating, and then she really does cheat on him, and then, like, you're like, oh my god, girl, like, what are you doing? And then the third movie, they, like, don't ever get along. So you're like, why am I rooting for these two people? I don't care anymore. Like, they should be broken up. And I think, again, we're not the audience because we're not rooting for this couple to get together, because we've been through this phase of life that they're both going through, and we're like, not worth it. Too much drama. Like, your life can be so easy if you just say goodbye to this.
Of course.
It does go back to the original plot of the movie, though, because it's like, should they break up? Should they stay together? Like, Elle has to make these decisions for herself. And again, that's what you said, like, the whole difference between them being a year apart is, like, he's made his big life decisions. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he's on track to becoming a real adult.
Right.
She's not yet. She's still in that middle stage where she has to make the big decisions about who she wants to become, or at least who she thinks she wants to be.
Right.
And it's completely different when you have someone else to consider.
Exactly.
Completely.
I really hate that, like, the men were such a big factor in her decision-making for an hour and 20 minutes. And, like, it was just so frustrating because, like, I just feel like that could have been handled better. Like, I understand that you want to, like, be with both of them, but that's, like, Skylar and I are like best friends, and I don't think once we considered like thinking that we would go to the same school or like that we wanted to be together in college. Like, that's a completely separate decision that you make that's not about anyone except for you. Like,
also, yeah, and as much as I love you and like love to be around you always,
of course,
it's such a big deal to be like, yeah, I want to spend every day with you from now on, and like, I don't ever want space to grow on my own. Like, we were literally just talking about this with our other friends. We were like, to spend time at school with someone when you're in college and to like live near them, and like you probably do everything with them. You like go to every meal together, you go out to every party together, like you spend every weekend together. Like, college, you spend a lot of time with the people you're around, because it's even more than high school. Like, you're living by yourselves, you can just like pop in, whatever, like, and then in, like, with your hometown friends, like, it's the same thing, but, like, it's different when you go to school and you're with this new life, and then you come home and you're with the same person, and you're spending so much time together. There's no growth in either of those areas without the person.
Yeah.
So there's no individuality, and it bothers me that, again, like you said, it's two men in the situation, because she's not growing without two men. Not a feminist movie. And it probably doesn't pass the Bechdel test at all.
No, I don't think it does.
Which stinks, because the other one probably does. The other two probably do.
I mean, yeah, but she just doesn't have, like, a lot of, like, female friends. Like, her friends are just Lee, and then apparently in this movie she's friends with, like, the OMGs. They're, like, weirdly friendly.
No, in the second movie, there was, like, a whole thing where, like, they're like, get over the beef because she's cool because she's dating Noah.
Oh, okay.
And the kissing booth makes them like her for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how popular she gets? I did kind of like that, though, how even though she was friends with just Lee, that they were kind of like friends with everybody, because it kind of made her more likable.
Yeah.
But it was like, that's like just such a little minute detail.
You know what was really messed up in this movie? The role that Tuppen played in it.
Agreed.
If you'll recall with me, Tuppen is the man that assaulted Elle in the first movie, and then he apologized in detention on a piece of paper, dressed up in a skirt, and then she decided to go on a date with him. And, and in this movie, he is a part of the go-kart thing. He comes to, like, the closing beach party, like, they hug goodbye at the end of the movie, and she
slaps his ass like he did to her.
Yeah, and I was like,
and she's like, a funny joke, remember when you sexually harassed me in high school?
Yeah, I was like, I don't feel like he should be as accepted in, like, the context of this as he was.
You also forgot that he stood her up on the date, too. Like, he was... Yeah. Oh, I forgot, though. Noah was like, don't go on the date. Don't go on which...
Yeah.
That makes me want to watch the first movie again.
No.
Because of that trope.
Yeah. But, like, I was watching it and I was like, why is everyone okay with Tuppen being around? Because I wouldn't be. Like, if that happened to me. Anyway.
I would be so uncomfortable.
But I don't want the man who harassed me, like, around. What the fuck?
I would not even have forgiven him in the first place. And then agree to go on a date with him. Like, what is wrong with her? Why does she let men do whatever she wants in her life? She's like, oh, but he's sorry. Like, really, this movie should be about her own problems, and, like, every man in this movie should be portrayed in a negative light. Yeah. Because she should be... Me rewriting this movie, instead of it being, like, her learning to be independent and, forgive these men for and actually these men did nothing wrong, and that it was all her fault that she created these problems. It should be about her figuring out that a lot of these people are expecting too much of her, and that she forgives men too easily. Yeah. Because she does. All of them.
I know.
Tuppen, Noah, Flynn.
Lee. Not Flynn, that's their last name.
Noah, Flynn.
You said that.
Noah, Lee. He looks like a Flynn.
You said that with your whole chest.
I know, I meant it.
No, I completely agree. I was waiting for her to, like, cuss Lee out. Like, I wanted her to go off on him. But instead, they just sat there crying, being like, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. And, like, she had nothing to apologize for. Like, she was working. She was doing the bucket list. She was babysitting. She was dealing with, like, her dad having a new girlfriend. Yeah. And she's doing everything. And on top of all of that, she misses one thing because Noah made her an I'm sorry dinner, or, like, she was somewhere with Noah and she missed their last dance on the fucking dance machine. And Leah's like, I can't believe this. Like, this is insane. Like, you have failed me in every way.
He's like, you don't do nearly enough for me.
You don't do anything for me. You don't care about me. Like, do I even matter to you? Like, and then she tries... Wait. She tries to explain it to him. And what does he say? Like, something about her happiness. He, like, makes it about him in, like, the last, like, 20 minutes. She's like, oh what? Like, I don't let you... I don't... Oh, my God. What was it? Oh, it made me so upset. She was, like, explaining her situation. He was like, I don't let you feel...
Oh, she was like, I'm trying to put myself first or something. Yeah. Or she was like, I'm trying to put myself first. And he was like, don't let me get in the way of your happiness.
Oh, yeah. Like so he was like, you're saying I'm getting in the way of your happiness?
Oh, yeah.
Girl, not at all what she was saying.
Like, she's like, no, I'm just spreading myself too thin. Like, there's too many people who expect things from me. And, like, my dad, you, and no, I'm trying to maintain it all. He's like, what? So I make you unhappy? Okay, go fuck yourself then,
Babe, like, what was that?
Both Noah and Lee yell at her when she tries to be like, I'm sorry, like, I just don't know what I'm doing, like, I'm trying to be nice to everybody and, like, be there. Because the same thing happens when he's like, Marco likes you and you know what, you need to stop. And she's like, I'm, like, just trying to be nice, like, he's cool, like, we're being friends, like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to be just nice to everybody. Yeah. And then he's like, nope, you're naive, and it's embarrassing. He tells her she's embarrassing. That made me so angry, because that, like, would hurt my feelings. If someone was like, you're embarrassing me, because you're being so stupid, I'd be like, okay, time to go home and cry.
Okay, like, literally, like, the girl that I thought so you were awful. Cheating on me with is staying here in my beach house and I don't give a fuck. Like,
and they're friends! They become friends!
Like, why can't... And it's like, it's not her fault for being wanted. It's not Elle's fault that Marco still likes her. That's on him. That's not on her. And what, like... Yeah. And he blames her for it. It's just insane. The toxic masculinity in this film, I know it's in all of them. It was off the charts in this one.
They, like, try to show growth in Noah in the scene where they're at the 4th of July party, and, like, Marco punches him in the face first, and then Noah doesn't punch him back, and they're like, see, look, he doesn't have anger issues anymore, like, he grew up. Right. I'm not proud of him for that. He literally screamed at his girlfriend for being attractive, and then caused a fight with this guy.
Yeah, he spiked
2 days ago.
He spiked him in the face with a volleyball before Marco punched him. Like, he incited the incident.
It was provoked by the word asshole. Like, he's still a baby.
Yeah.
Like, a real man would just be like, okay, like, turn around and goodbye. Like,
okay,
whatever.
Genuinely, if Noah was the shit at all, he could shut down Marco in a second. Like, are you the one dating Elle? No, I am. Like,
if he was secure in himself,
exactly.
He would have just been like, dude, I don't care, he's the loser. Like, I know my girlfriend's with me.
Yeah.
Like, she's fine. Like,
yeah.
I don't care. Like, whatever. He can like her and try. Like, I know nothing's gonna come between it. But instead, every man in this movie cries the second Elle is not in the room with them. They're like little babies, and they're like, oh my god, Elle! She's paying attention to someone else. She's at work.
Genuinely, every man is like, oh my god, Elle isn't at breakfast. Like, we can't eat. Like, I don't know how to use my hands. Like, I can't make breakfast for myself. Where is she?
Literally. Oh my god.
Can we talk really quickly about Lee's friend that he, like, makes this summer that goes to
Asher
Berkeley?
Or something?
Yeah.
Ashton? Ash?
Were they not in love with each other? Because I felt like they were in love with each other.
Like, it's one of those things where it's like male friendships are only ever homoerotic.
Of course.
They were so funny, though.
It was hilarious how quickly that happened, and then also they were like, the way they interacted, my friends and I were like, is he gonna break up with Rachel? I was like waiting for it. I mean, men can have male friends, but that was a lot for two men that met each other at a party like a couple weeks ago.
They were like like when men become friends and they're like both obsessed with each other and they like joke about being in love with each other. Like there are definitely those friends, and like I almost wish that there was more screen time just so we could see Lee have a healthy male relationship, because he doesn't with his brother and he has no other male friends. So
exactly.
Instead, we just got him running away and cry. Also, why does everybody dress and run like an episode character in this movie? They did Jacob Elordi they did whatever his name is, Lee, so dirty in the makeup department. The wardrobe department hates Jacob because they would dress him, his lanky broad body, in long jorts that reached his knees.
Yeah.
And button-up shirts.
Yeah.
Open button-up shirts over t-shirts.
Yeah.
Sorry, he doesn't need to look like the Incredible Hulk with chicken legs. Like, give that hunky Australian man a pair of 5-inch inseam shorts and a t-shirt. Like, stop dressing him like that. Oh my god.
Yeah, he grew up in California. Like, he's not gonna dress like a boy from the East Coast going to California for a vacation with his family.
The jorts made me so angry.
And also Elle's outfits, there was absolutely no flavor in them at all. They really did her dirty. That was so disappointing.
But I'm so jealous of Joey King's body.
I know, her body is insane.
Her legs look so good in this movie. Her abs, fantastic. Like, she's a queen, okay? No Jacob King. No Joey King slander around here, okay?
No. Oh my god, but okay, what they did to her in one of the last scenes, she was wearing her white button-down shirt from work and a cropped denim jacket with a low pony.
And jeans. And a low pony.
Who did that to her?
There's a time and a place for a low pony.
And it was not that.
It was not
and
that
not
outfit.
With that wig. And also, don't do a low pony with that wig. You can't get away with that.
No, you can't.
Oh my god.
Not the part they had in it.
That weird middle side part that couldn't...
It was one of those parts where it's like standing up in the front and like it's like a comb over.
Yes.
That like happens when you have a wig on.
I thought that button-down shirt with light wash jeans and a light wash denim jacket, cropped denim jacket, was the most heinous thing I have ever seen in a film. Who did that? Incorrect, because her look in the last part of this movie, which she's supposed to be a trendy, hip video game designer with a pixie cut pixie cuts can be so cute. The one they gave her, well, she was growing out her hair. She's been that was her hair grown out from the act because she had to shave her head for that role. So that's just how
Couldn't they have done a little bit better?
Well, it could have been styled way better, wasn't it? It was just on the front. Yeah.
Like that.
It wasn't that good.
Imagine my bangs, but I had a pixie cut, but only half my bangs.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good.
And then they put her in the most stuffy leather jacket. Like, why couldn't they have put her in, like, a cute, trendy, oversized leather jacket and, like, a nice crop top with, like, some skinny jeans at least? Like, they put her in the most stuffy, form-fitting outfit.
I know.
Every piece was hugging her.
She looked like she was about to, like, ride a horse. Like, she was wearing, like, skin-tight pants and boots, wasn't she? Like, she could have been wearing, riding pants and some leather boots and hopped on a horse and ridden out of the fucking carnival where they were. Like, easily.
You know what? You know what she looked like?
What?
Do you remember? I don't know how to describe this.
Okay.
But it has the same energy. Do you remember in SpongeBob when Squidward wishes that SpongeBob would be normal, so SpongeBob turns circular and gets rid of his like craters and like is like cylindrical almost and like
no. Oh, maybe? Is that what you're saying she looks like?
Okay.
Skylar.
I don't think she looked like that. But the look had the same energy.
Okay. Maybe.
Just me?
That might just be you.
Okay. Well, I would like to hear from the people.
Okay.
On that one.
We'll make this part a promo and the picture will be that picture from SpongeBob and we'll have the people tell us.
Perfect. I'm gonna save it. Anyways, so, okay, well, let's talk about the resolution of this movie, because we're getting to the later half of this episode, the later portion of this episode.
Yeah.
So she breaks up with Noah Noah breaks up with her at the end, which, like, makes sense, because, like, he's the older one who's probably like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best situation.
He had a pretty good breakup. He was like, I don't want to be responsible for a decision that you're going to regret, and, like, he took himself out of the equation, which I think was a smart thing to do.
Correct. Especially because he was the one that was, like, screaming at her all the time. And, like, acting irrationally. Like, I think he was like, oh, maybe I'm treating her like shit for things that she can't control. Okay. Yeah, and then her and Lee come to terms with the fact that they're going to different schools. Her and Marco, like, are like, we're friends. And he's like, I'm going to take a gap year and do music in New York City because it's not a movie.
Okay,
if that doesn't happen.
Listen to me about Marco's resolution. I am so upset about this. First of all, he has known Elle for what? 6 months? 3 months? And he is telling her, first of all, that he is taking a gap year and going to try and be a musician. We don't know what kind of... in New York City. Whatever that...
Well, he has the guitar, remember? He carries it around.
So, like, whatever that...
We're like, oh, music boy.
Right.
Has guitar.
And then he's like... He tells her, it was always my plan, unless there was, like, something keeping me in LA, but now there isn't, so I'm going there. Which implies...
I didn't even catch that.
Yes, which implies that he was going to stay in Los Angeles for Elle. This girl who kissed him and cheated on her boyfriend with that kiss and then was still dating the boyfriend.
With that kiss.
And, like, he, like, was not into him and he, like, was still... Oh my god, this man was going to stay in Los Angeles until Elle chose...
What's wrong with the characters in this movie?
Like, that makes no sense. That's almost as crazy as saying you're taking a gap year from college to go be a musician in New York City.
That's honestly, that is more normal than saying you're gonna stay for a person you're not even dating.
What the fuck? Imagine, Skylar, imagine staying in your hometown for a boy that you went to high school with.
For a high school crush.
For a high school crush.
Yeah. And I would also like to point out that she's like, you never told me that you were gonna try to do that. We get no characterization of Marco in this movie, in this entire franchise, besides the fact that he's in love with Elle. And it just reminds me of, like, Moxie. Because It's the one man of color in this movie, and he is the he's the obstacle love interest.
Yeah.
And he gets absolutely no character. To be fair, not a lot of the characters get characterization in this movie.
He's purely eye candy.
A thing to mention. He does look so handsome in this movie, I will say it. And his voice, hello. But it's just, again, it's just like, we don't know anything about him, so of course we didn't know this was happening. And she's like, oh my god, you didn't tell me that. Yeah, you didn't ask him a single question about himself. The whole time you're just like, my boyfriend is breaking up with me, I'm pretty sure. And, like, he hates me, and this girl is in my house. Yeah. And, like, that was it.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to interrupt about that Marco thing. We could not just gloss over that because that pissed me off so much.
No. That's pretty much how the movie... Oh, and then we get, again, the 6 years later, her and Noah rekindle. They find their way back to each other, and, like, they had this moment at where the kissing booth was, and whatever. It's kind of cute. The ending was kind of... It made me a little bit...
It was fine. I mean, like... Rachel and Lee broke up to go to college, but then they found their way back to each other, and it's 6 years later, so 18 plus 6 is 24, if I'm doing that math correctly. Mm-hmm. And so they're both 24 years old, and they are engaged to be married.
Yeah. I mean, does Lee not look like someone who would be married the second he graduates college?
Yeah, he does, but, like, that's their thing, and, oh my god, I just, like...
That's their thing. No. And then also, this means that Chloe is now 29 in this movie, because I don't know if you caught it, but she mentions that she's 23 in this movie.
Oh, that's right.
Which didn't make any sense to me, because in the second movie, I thought she was supposed to be in Noah's grade, but I guess she's supposed to be,
older.
Which, again, is confusing to me, because... Why was she hanging out with college students if she was graduated?
Well, people don't do logical things in these movies, so I don't think we should expect anything logical.
I know. I just don't know. I don't even get why they made her 23. Maybe I need to watch the second movie again, but I don't get why they made her 23.
I don't know. I thought she was a freshman with Noah in Boston.
Me too. You know what scene I actually did think was well done and kind of cute?
What?
When when Lee and Elle say goodbye.
Oh my god, no, with the like young...
Not the kids, but because it's actually kind of cute them like saying goodbye, and like the first time they're not speaking to each other and screaming at each other. But what I did think was cute was him hanging the doorknob on his mirror. Okay. And driving away, and if the kids weren't there, it would... Okay, metaphorically, the kids part was kind of cute, because, like, oh my god, like, it kind of touched me, because I was like, you know, like we were just talking about, like, we've been friends for a long time. I've been friends with our other friend Adelaide for forever.
Way longer, yeah.
And, like, when you go to school, you're kind of walking away from a lot of your childhood, and, like, you're not necessarily walking away from your friends, but you're both leaving behind a huge part of your life together.
Yeah.
And, like, choosing to continue the rest of your lives with them and, like, kind of, like, step out of childhood together. And it's, like, this really cute thing where just, like, I don't know, they portraying that, like, they were going to continue life together and that they were both accepting that they had to grow up together.
Sure.
But, like, that they were always going to love and cherish those memories. I was just kind of like... Aw, and you know what didn't help? Is they were playing God Only Knows.
Why God the fuck knows did they what do that? Why did they do that?
Ever since Love Actually, that song
I was just gonna say, I was watching it, I was like, this is not Love Actually, please take this out of the movie. This song is only allowed to be played in Love Actually.
No, because it literally makes me cry every time, because, oh my god, Love Actually. I can't wait for Christmas just so I can watch Love Actually. I know.
And then also when, like, her and Noah were saying goodbye 6 years later, and Falling in Love in a Coffee Shop fucking started playing. That was uncalled for. I don't know why they did that.
The soundtrack, bangers. Why Parallels to Twilight, why was the soundtrack so good?
But, like, why did they choose those songs? I just don't understand.
I don't get Falling in Love at a coffee shop, because
They're saying goodbye.
Does she know? What the fuck does Gaga know about cameras? Like, they were not falling in love at a coffee shop. They were not meeting for the first time.
No. I didn't get it. Absolutely.
Us reading too much into the soundtrack.
No, I know. But, like, whatever. I guess there were some good songs in this movie.
I also, in that scene, did think it was cute when he was like, oh, I'll call you. And she's like, oh, only if you have time. And he goes, I've got time. Like, I thought that was cute. Okay.
Aw. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Aw. Cute that you thought that was cute.
After this whole, like, 3-movie franchise, yeah, I just, like, they put us through all of that just to have them break up and, like, not be together and have that be the moral of the story, which is fine. But I think if you're gonna do that, why make the second movie riddled with problems between them, and then the third movie also riddled with problems between them, just to have them break up? You'll get a more emotional impact if they're perfect right up until the last second, and it's more of like a climax of conflict.
I agree. Again, me rewriting the movies. I think what they should have done.
Yes.
First movie should have been what the first movie was. Second movie should have been them having, like, developing the relationship, and then in the second half of the movie we get all the conflicts we got from this movie.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily the Margot plotline, because that didn't need to be there, neither did the Chloe one, but, like, the spreading herself too thin, the college stuff, like, that could have been, like, problems that they were having, and then, like, you get the breakup at the end of that one.
Right.
And then if they really wanted to, it would still have been bad, but the third one could have been them rekindling after college.
Right.
Because then at least that would have been, like, more heartfelt, because we would have gotten more than a scene of them just being like, the feelings are still there.
Yeah. I agree.
Because it also bothers me, too, that both Lee and Rachel and the second couple in this movie that dated in high school, Noah and Elle, get back together after college.
Yeah. Wait, is it implied that Noah and Elle got back together?
Yeah, it's implied that they're going to, because he's like, I'll call you if I have time.
Yeah, but I don't know if that means that they're going to get back together.
I think well, abstract ending up for debate. Do you think Noah and Elle are going to get back together?
I think that when they come home for holidays, they'll, like, link, but I don't think they're going to be in a relationship.
Okay. 'Tis the damn season.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's that vibe.
I mean, come on. If they had developed their relationship better through the rest of the movies, could you imagine how good it would have been if they played 'Tis the damn season?
Yeah, I know. A missed opportunity.
Honestly, someone has gotta write the Taylor Swift jukebox musical, because...
Who is gonna do that? The greatest screenwriter of our time has to take on that job.
Only someone with talent, because it has to be done correctly, and all the songs have to be done justice, because something like 'Tis the Damn Season, it has to be done with a couple that you care about, because otherwise the lyrics are not gonna hit as hard.
Obviously. I can't wait for that to happen.
Like Normal People? The Normal People edits to 'Tis the Damn Season?
Well, didn't she get... This is a complete meander from this episode, but didn't she write 'Tis the Damn Season because she was inspired after watching Normal People? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
She loves Sally Rooney.
Okay. Well, I feel like we got all of our thoughts out about Kissing Booth 3.
I think I did.
Yeah. Let us know if you share our opinions.
They were not all completely negative, so...
No, I mean, these are trash movies, and, like, I don't think we should treat them as as anything other than trash movies, and you can still think critically about trash movies. That's what makes watching them fun.
Correct. Yeah, and also, I've seen the first one multiple times. I'd watch all three of these movies again, because they're entertaining. And I'm also saying that because I'm kind of salty that Emily and I weren't invited to the Kissing Booth 3 opening.
Like, why didn't they pay for our tickets to LA? Why
weren't we there?
I don't know.
I just want to talk to someone really quickly. Like,
hello.
Boop, boop, boop. I think we should have been there, but that's
Whatever.
I guess the next Netflix original will be there.
Okay, yeah. Next Netflix original premiere, we are obviously getting an email and getting invited.
Obviously.
Obviously.
No, obviously. We'll have our people call Netflix. No, Netflix will call our people.
Yeah, Netflix will call our people, and then they'll let us know, and then we'll call Netflix's people, and it'll... Don't worry about it.
Well, don't worry about it, guys. We'll be there.
Okay. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you enjoyed watching it. This episode will be on YouTube, so if you're listening, why not go and also watch?
Go look at us.
Go look at our pretty little faces. And in the meantime, follow us on all of our social medias. They're all linked in the description. And keep DMing us, keep talking to us. We love you guys. Thanks for everyone who keeps listening, and thanks to new people who are listening. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed.
Come back. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.